We got a little Texas brawl going on, a little Texas barbecue brawl going on between Democrats and Republicans in the local legislature. And what I mean by local legislature and what I mean by a little brawl is the politicians from Austin, Texas. How can you tell? Here's an old joke. How can you tell a local politician from the city of Austin? How can you tell? Okay? Green hair and genderless. Okay? They're genderless witches. And so basically all the local politicians in Austin walked out on a vote that was a Republican-initiated piece of legislation to kind of clean up some of the voting. Now, I don't know a lot about this issue. I do know that some of it is tied to appeasing a base of people who believe that Donald Trump won the election. They're the same people who I think believe Donald Trump is a real billionaire. Neither one of those things happened. Donald Trump's not a real billionaire, and Donald Trump didn't win the election. There is no legitimate, and what I mean by legitimate, I don't mean like sourced or verified mass evidence of voter fraud that would have overturned the election. And I think they know that, and that's why they're trying to impose this legislation, because they just don't want black people to vote. Let's be honest. If black people don't vote, they feel like Democrats won't win. So what they're doing is they are no longer having voting booths next to Foot Lockers. Might as well go for it. Okay? Am I supposed to pretend like black kids don't like sneakers? I mean, what are we supposed to do here? I like sneakers, and I got it from black people. I learned it from watching you, Dad. I got Jordan 3s right. What is so wrong with saying that you're going to spend your stimmy check on sneakers if you call it a stimmy check? I call it a stimmy check, and I spent it on sneakers. I'm sorry, Uncle Sam. I wasn't in need because I'm part of the Zoomtocracy. I make my money online, and I'm a comedian, so I'm recession proof, because this is basically booze for your soul. There's 2 things that are recession proof. 3 things: fucking, prostitution, comedy, and booze. And all 3 are about fucking as low as you can get. That's it's about the lowest form of relief you can get. You want that good relief? Go get yourself Xanax. But if you can't get yourself a Xanax, what you want to do is go to someone's fan-only page where some teacher is showing her pussy lips and making more money than she did teaching gender studies. Or you want to go and see Sam Morril at the Hoo Hoo Ha Ha next week in Niagara Falls. Go see Gary Veeder opening for Nate Bargatze at the Christian Church Center in Savannah, Georgia. Okay? Go see Torpedo, the Black Southern comic, at Poke Knockers in Atlanta. And that will relieve you, okay? So those are really, or if you're sad, it's good for booze. Whenever there's a recession, booze is on the uptick because people need to drink away their sorrows. So they're basically fighting in the legislature about those Voting Rights Act. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I do think it's suspicious. It's like, okay, because this is happening all over the country. In Georgia, obviously, Texas. They're trying to do this this voting reform, right? So they're trying to get, what are they trying to take away drive-by votings? I mean, really, is that what we're going to do? Dude, you got people on this planet within the circumscribed lines of what a United States of America is, who are weighing in at about 300 to 400 pounds, dude. Do you understand what a heavyweight is in boxing? Do you understand what a heavyweight is in MMA? A heavyweight weighs in at about 210 pounds. Mike Tyson was fighting, I think, at about 205, correct? Something like that. Do you know what I am? And I'm not even considered obese by eyesight. I'm only obese when I go to the doctor or when I get my COVID report back and they call me a white obese male, which hurt my feelings.
Caucasian.
You know? But it's like, dude, 210 pounds or 5 pounds, that's like a baby in America. That's a baby. Okay, so you're going to take away drive-by voting for people who can't walk? Nobody's going to be able to vote. You don't know you're hurting your cause more. Let me tell you something right now, Republicans. If you take away drive-by voting, there's a drive-through Starbucks, there's a drive-through Dunkin' Donuts, there's a fucking drive-through Charles Jr., right? Ray's Jr., whatever that burger's name is, In-N-Out you can fucking get. Why can't you go vote, for Joey B and Kamali at a drive-by? In fact, if you want everyone to vote, if you want this democracy to be as participatory as possible, take a fucking page out of West Virginia's book. They are giving away guns. They're giving you a gun if you get vaccinated. Why do we not give burgers away if you vote? If you put fucking voting booths, if you ordered your candidate with your number 4, everybody would fucking vote. Are you kidding me? Why would you want less people to vote? I know why you think you want less people to vote, because like I said, you want only white people to vote Republicans, or else you may not win another election. And I'm no Republican, but I get it. We need balance in this country, goddammit. Okay? These green hairs are taking over. I get it. But here's why you're hurting your own cause. You take away drive-by, drive-through voting. None of your voter base. I mean, let me ask you something, Republicans. Do you really think anyone your voter base is either the filthy rich? I would say your voter base is shrewd, or barely sliding into human. I'm talking about play at the plate. We got to go to the booth, put the headphones on, and see if a finger made it past the ball swipe to make it into human past chimp. That is your voter base, okay? It's shrewd, okay? All the intellectuals and like useless liberal arts, everyone who went to Skidmore, okay? Or what's that college Obama went to in California? Austining? Everyone who went to a private liberal arts school and is like overeducated and useless, can't even fix a sink, they are voting liberal. So everyone who's over 300 pounds, who has a problem spelling the word definitely, but can lay pipe in my house, is voting for you. The problem is those motherfuckers breathe heavy when they walk fast. You don't want them standing in line too long, especially in the South, because they'll pass out, okay? And a lot of them aren't even vaccinated, so they're just going to have COVID for the rest of their lives. So you're hurting yourself, Republicans. Don't do away with drive-through voting. So what happened was the governor of Texas, what's his name? Abbott, right? His name's fucking Abbott. Something Abbott. Greg Abbott. Sounds like a pitcher. You ever notice that baseball players have baseball names? Have you ever met a Steve Sachs in your life? How about a Don Mattingly? Have you ever met anyone? Have you ever met a Rick Cerrone or a Wade Boggs? Greg Maddox? Teixeira. There's a lot of Teixeiras. That's a bad example because
I never met one.
There's also an MMA fighter, Teixeira.
Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones. This is not his real name, but that they would call him Chipper. Yeah. You know, Chipper Jones. There's a whole bunch, right? What's a good one? Randy Johnson. There's a lot of those, but you just think it's a baseball name. Doesn't Greg Abbott sound like a baseball name? Abbott. He's got a real baseball name. Thing is, kid can't play baseball because he's in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair. He is Texas's FDR. Kid's in a fucking wheelchair. He doesn't hide it like FDR did. You know, that's how stupid, that's how good the media was. If you want to know if the media can lie to you, nobody knew that FDR couldn't stand up because he had polio. Kid got polio. Kid was an anti-vaxxer. Nobody wants to talk about that. Polio vaccine was around, and FDR was like, "You're not sticking that goddamn fucking Bill Gates needle in my ass. I'm going to live with polio and let my immune system handle it." So he got polio, and he was fucking paralyzed. Kid was in a wheelchair. Nobody knew for his full reign. Throughout the whole New Deal, nobody knew. Nobody ever said, "You know what? I haven't seen this kid stand up in a long time." Yeah. He was always photographed sitting because his legs didn't work. So Greg Abbott, I mean, why are people not talking about, why do people not care about Greg Abbott making history the same way Kamala Harris made history? Kamala Harris is the first Jamaican and Indian but African-American vice president. Obama was the first African-American president. Why are we not making a big deal about Greg Abbott being the first disabled governor? Okay? Openly disabled. He didn't hide it. FDR was in the closet. FDR was in the closet. He wasn't being himself. Greg Abbott fucking rolls. When I go roll it, he rolls. I mean, that kid fucking rolls to vote. He rolls in and hits a... Yeah, that kid is rolling. You see me rolling. Look at him, dude. I mean, that kid, he has to pick up his knee to cross his legs. When he wants to sit like a gentleman, he's got to pick up one leg and throw it over the other. Greg Abbott, hats off to you for making history, being the first openly disabled governor in the United States. Finally, you can be out of the closet, disabled people. You can be as you are. That is a big, big moment for the disabled community. You know what I mean? It would be funny watching a disabled guy fuck, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be funny?
How?
Well, just because he's got to lay there and you just got to like, you could really pound his legs and he doesn't feel shit. Like you could really ride him hard and he doesn't feel anything. Or you could just pick one leg up and put it over here. You can have fun with his legs.
Like
is
dead
what I'm
weight.
saying. Yeah, it's just like, you know, you really, you know, if you're into some weird Kama Sutra positions, you could really turn that kid into a pretzel. It would be fun to play Twister with him and just put his legs where you wanted him to go. When he plays Twister, he's got to have a spotter.
Yeah.
When he plays Twister, when Greg Abbott plays Twister, he's got to have a caddy who comes out and says, I think we should put the leg over on green. And he's like, I think that's a good idea. And then the guy just picks up his leg and just throws it on the green circle. Greg Abbott can sit like Matt Lauer. FDR fucks. Here's a good one I got to read. Trump is about to legalize menthol cigs to get that black vote. You know what I mean? You heard Trump 2024. So that's what happens when I look down.
Yeah.
Yannis Pappas.